Gotta watch everybody, it get tricky out here. Look both ways, it get busy out here. Better check the weather, it get sticky out here. It's heated out here, shit be on fire. Yeah, shit be on fire. I came a long ass way.
Welcome to In the CLoUDs with Puff and Parlay. I'm CeCe.
And I'm Renee, and it is time to fire it up.
We are here to change the atmosphere around cannabis, and we are two moms that are here just trying to share our love for the plant, bring other people into our world.
Break stigmas.
Yes, consumers and non-consumers, just to show everybody that, we're a good time and we're productive.
And we're moms.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. We can do this, we can smoke and be moms and be responsible and be taken seriously. Some of y'all have your glass. This is our glass.
Cheers.
So, cheers. So
and you can catch us weekly. So tune in.
Yes, every Friday we will drop a new episode at 12 noon. Now, today I'm super excited because my girl said that she would come in and bless us. We actually have the first Asian female DJ to go mainstream. Now, that alone is a big deal, but she also started her mainstream journey in radio in Atlanta, and her co-host on the radio was Ludacris. Y'all might have heard of him, maybe just a little bit. But she came out. How I met her is that we were working at the iconic Beat in LA, the second largest urban radio station in the country at the time. Everybody came through here, and KSLY, welcome. We really appreciate you coming here. The fact that I used to come in and see you behind the mic and I was behind the scenes, and then for you to come and sit down with us and us being, in front of the mic, it's tables have turned a little bit, but I learned a lot from watching you. So hopefully you're proud of us.
You're so sweet. But CeCe, I know she always had a personality, and
that's what you call it.
That's a good term for it. Thank you.
I'm sure same with you. That's why you're friends.
Yes.
I'm nothing against people who are softer, but I don't do soft, right?
Yeah,
I don't have soft friends. Like, you can't be my friend and cry if I say something that's true.
Right. You definitely have to have thick skin to be around us, and you are definitely somebody that if somebody does not have thick skin, they are definitely going to take everything the wrong way instead of with love.
Yeah. But you also, you take tokes in between, right?
Yes.
I used to smoke, but not regularly, but I did used to smoke when I would, not on air, but before or after. And it was relaxing, but now I've developed allergies to everything.
No.
Yeah, so it's probably because I come from the era of DJing when you could smoke cigarettes in the club.
It's a totally different smoke.
Yeah, and I used to get so sick, so now I'm just sensitive.
Wow.
With the sinusitis, it's ridiculous.
You gonna be okay with us? Because we
smoke.
As long as I'm not doing it, because it's different when you are the one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I wish I could, because
We wish you could.
I mean, I'm a mom now too, and it is, it is a lot, right? It's a lot.
How have you tried edibles? Would that work for you?
And I just pass out.
We're gonna work this out for
That's
you.
not a bad thing.
No.
We're gonna work this out for you, especially because the kid. Listen, the biggest role you've been on so many different stages, on TV, on arena stages, like big concerts. Like who's been there? Kanye, Mariah. Like, we've had so many people on the stages.
Right.
How do you deal with the smoke while you're DJing?
I can deal with it. But back then with the cigarettes, I couldn't. You just had to take it, right? And I remember the first time I got really sick was when I just got really bad sinuses, and I went to the doctor, and he said, "You need to stop smoking."
And you're like, I don't smoke.
Yeah, and he said, "Your ears, nose, and throat are black."
It's a totally different smoke.
Yeah.
It's all the chemicals and everything in it. And I wish that people, understood the difference. I think that part of the stigma with us is the smoke part, as people compare it to cigarette smoke, and it's two different
It's totally different. I've never gotten sick being around weed ever, but around cigarettes, I'm so against cigarettes. Like I would definitely,
Same. Like smoking, I'm surprised I'm such a big consumer, because I'm like cigarette smoke.
Yeah, because
no
it affects
way.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of you being on the main stage as a DJ, we would love to know if you could tell us about the challenges that you have faced in the industry as the first Asian woman DJ to go mainstream.
Ooh, I mean, where do we begin? I'm sure in any industry, being a woman, you are looked at differently. So they throw a little test at you, even if it's not on purpose. And it could be women too throwing tests at you, right?
I think that is the number one factor for women, and it's such a shame that we make it harder for ourselves.
Yeah, it's like those microaggressions. When I heard somebody first use that word, I said, you know what? That is the word I was always looking for. Microaggressions. It wasn't always blatant what they were doing. It was just these little things. And you're like, and then if you ever said something about it, they'd be like gaslight you, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't have that term back then either. So I would just say,
all the stuff we needed.
Yeah. Like, you're trying to make me sound crazy. I know I'm not crazy. But as you saw, because we worked together, she would see me. I would be going nuts at work. I'd always be on the defense. And that's how I had to be. I felt like that's how I had to be. I was always tense. I always was anxious. I literally would shout on the mic because I was fighting for my mic space with my radio partner. Mm-hmm. Because we were both alphas. Right. And neither one of us were gonna back down. So we both were alphas. No, we weren't bad, and we just fought a lot. We just fought for that mic, and I'm like, quit talking over me, and, things like that.
Did you ever find because your co-host was a male, whenever anybody came in for interviews, any celebrity guests, artists came in, would they take them, your counterpart, more serious and speak to them more directly than you? Did you ever find that happening?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And it didn't really happen in Atlanta with Ludacris and Poon. So Poon and Ludacris were very welcoming. So it was different. They were just like, and Luda was already planning his exit strategy when I came in anyway. So they were more relaxed. They let me run the board. They were super chill and very, like, they were kind of training me because I went from community radio to commercial. So they were training me. So it was just different because you deal with different personalities, and maybe it might not have anything to do with your gender or, you being a woman, whatever. But then LA is a little more competitive because you have different facets of the industry, going into what you're doing every single day. And so me and Eric, when we worked in LA, it was just a lot because he made that transition from having Lala, and she's, we're different, and she dealt with him in a different way, and I had my, my personality, and we probably should have smoked back then, and it would have been a way chiller show. But
I would have loved to have seen smoke come out of the studio back then. Back then, I really was hiding it, But
so you consumed back then.
Yes, but I mean, there was a few people that I would smoke with, including Poetess, and we're in her studios at Morris Studios on Crenshaw. I smoked with her, but maybe one or two other people, but most people didn't know that I consumed.
I didn't know.
And I think it was probably because back then, still battling my own stigma, is I didn't necessarily want everybody to know because I wanted them to take me seriously as a woman in the position that I was in, and the stigma was still there. So, you know,
Yeah.
yes, it was the entertainment industry, but since I was behind the scenes and you're not, you know, a talent.
Yeah.
They can do it all day.
Do it all day.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting in a somewhat corporate situation,
Yeah.
it doesn't look good. But
agree.
I think the only time I smelled smoke at the studios when Snoop came in. When Snoop would come in, it was just, you just knew. But I can't remember if anybody else would light up besides Snoop in the
One
studio
of our
back
bosses
then.
got in trouble.
I remember.
But I thought it was
partook.
hilarious.
Right. How are you not going to smoke with
In the
Snoop?
studio?
In the studio.
In the studio. So the boss went in there and he smoked with Snoop. And so
I would have done the same thing.
Exactly.
If I
Yeah.
could, I would have.
And people, that's when all the snitches came out. I was like, really?
Why?
I was like, he needs to calm down. He needs to smoke.
Yes.
Pass him the joint.
Yeah. But I would say, you know, those were the things I dealt with because I grew up really strong. My mom, she's Korean. She is very feisty. And I think that set me up to be able to survive in this industry and deal with the situations I did. I didn't always navigate them correctly, but I feel that that's where people like, you know, POTUS and, you know, I have other friends who were my friend Drea, my sister, and I just had really good friends with me who would put me in my place. And even some celebrities, like I used to do a gossip report and, you know, I just got caught up in this gossip report. Plus I had to do it after it got so popular, and then I really didn't want to do it anymore because I just
These people now.
Yeah, and I didn't feel good about it. But then I stood corrected because there are so many people, especially a lot of the other women in the entertainment industry, they were very gracious and forgiving because they were like, well, I've had somebody check me, and they, you know, she was like, I didn't appreciate you mentioning.
Checked you?
It was Trina, and she
Trina
was so
checked
sweet.
you.
Yeah, because she was dating someone at the time, and she said, you know, I didn't appreciate that you know, mentioned it because you know me, and you know, we've hung out, and you know, I don't, even though it was public,
Right.
but she just didn't like it to go on and being gossiped about, and I had, you know, I had to apologize, and I just didn't think of it like that because I was young and just like, oh, it's no big deal, but it is a big deal because you know these people, and then it does make a difference, and it does bother people because they are humans. And so I felt really bad, and that was a turning point for me, and I appreciated that she corrected me.
Yeah.
Because when you're not corrected, then you just go on this path, and you know, I mean, and you go through the challenges, right? Being a woman, and at the time being an Asian woman, there weren't Asians, period.
No.
Really. There was like one or two.
In urban radio.
Yeah. I mean, in entertainment,
Period.
period.
Yeah.
And
So you didn't want to catch yourself. You didn't want to get yourself caught up in those moments.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you ever feel pressure like you had to be perfect because you were like the first face?
I felt like as long as I stayed authentic, like I am who I am, and I have a temper, I am feisty, I will defend myself, I won't back down, I will call you out. That's what I always have been. And there were times where I actually was scared to call people out, so I didn't. And I look back and I'm like, you know, I made the right decision because look at what we see now that's coming out, all that stuff like Diddy and all that, you know, and you're like, I'm glad I didn't talk about that kind of stuff 'cause we knew, right?
There's certain things you don't talk about if you still want to be around for a while. So,
but then it's like you have to think, will it make a difference? That's what we had to think about.
Yes.
We'll just be ruined. You know, we'll just be ruined. It's not going to benefit anyone. No one's going to be helped. It's not going to change, at least at that time. But all you can do is protect yourself and who you love and keep them away from certain situations.
yeah. As a woman within the industry too, the entertainment industry, did you ever feel, you know, because it's so male dominated. Yes, there's female artists, but when the male artists came through, did you ever feel uncomfortable? Were they flirt? I mean, because you're an attractive woman too. So like, you know, how they treated you opposed to, you know, your counterpart because he's a guy. That's the homie.
Yeah.
That's it. But you know, were they respectful, or do you feel like there were some people that came in and was like, oh, look at this beautiful, you know, and try to step over the bounds?
I think by the time I did the beat. I think that most people understood that I was there, you know, and they showed respect. But of course, there are guys who will try you. And I think it happened more outside of the studio than inside. And there were men, there are men still, but in the industry who are rapey. You know, they're very rapey, and you have to be careful, and you have to be around people who are not. Like one time,
they don't think that they are.
No. There is creepy. There are creepy mofos in this business. Like, and I still remember this story in Atlanta. So Ludacris was celebrating his 30,000 albums independently sold before he got signed to Def Jam. And me, Poon, and Luda were at a club. It was like a VIP club. It was a big couch, right? And then somebody on the other side was celebrating some songs being on a famous group's album. I don't want to say, but so this songwriter, I literally had this much champagne just to do cheers, but I'm allergic. But back then I wasn't fully allergic, so I could drink a little bit, but I'd be like, you know, that Asian glow, like, and the guy must have thought I was drunk or just young and dumb, and he said, "Hey Chris, I'm gonna give her a ride home. I'll take her home." And he was like, and this is before Chris was signed, okay? So he didn't have, you know, the deals signed, nothing signed yet. So you have to understand, for someone to stand up for you back then, before they even get their deal, is a big deal. Right? So he said, nah, she came home with me. I mean, I picked her up. I'm going to drop her off. And basically, she came with me. I take her home. I drop her off at home. Yeah. Like, that's my sister.
He was looking out. That's so good.
And he said it, and the guy said it twice. No, don't worry. You know, I got a car. And I got a ride, like a limo or something, and he was like, no. And he clarified once again. He reiterated, said, no, she came with us, me and Poon, and
he already knew this guy, probably in his mind. Already was like, absolutely not. This is family. Back up.
Yeah, creepy. But those are the things you have to deal with too. I mean, men have to deal with this kind of stuff, but not so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would think that men, if that did happen to them, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Even as like we have to talk about it. But even we're scared to talk about it as women, because when you're in these positions, you have to, especially during that time period, it's gotten a lot better. You have to get your own respect and be stern, but then you're in entertainment, so you still have to be
right.
Jolly, happy, lovely. Yeah. And it's that balance in order to be taken seriously with these guys.
To be believed.
Right.
Because I was watching some documentaries lately, like the whole Diddy thing, and I'm looking at this one lady. She had, tats, and she used to dance, I guess, or whatever. And my husband goes, but, I don't know if I believe her. And I said, I believe her, because I said, you have to understand these men, because he's not in the industry. So I said, these kind of men, they prey on women like that because they know you're not going to believe her. You're going to look at her and know her background, and you're automatically not going to believe her. And I said, would you believe me if I told you something similar happened to me? Like getting, drugged or whatever. And I said, and somebody in the industry, because that did happen to me. And I said, but would you believe me? I said, you would, but would the general public believe me? If I came out 20 years later and said, this happened to me by this person, and then they'd be like,
the questions.
Oh, did that really happen?
How old were you? Were you drinking? Were you under? Were you intoxicated?
Yeah.
Were you flirting?
Yeah.
Did all these, like,
I mean, everything to steer away from what happened.
Yeah. Men don't have to really worry too much about, like, waking up with a sore booty or something. I don't know.
That's the worst when you hear people say, "How did you know? How do you know you had sex?"
Yeah.
We know. We know.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
I'm just saying. Yeah. There. Well.
Sore booties. Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as you transitioned from being, because that was young single KSLY.
Yeah.
Now it's mom Mom, wife, KSLY.
Yeah, thanks
Mom,
for the reminder.
She's like, I came here to get away from that. She's like, I came here to get away with that.
No, I love it. I do love it.
What if you had any superpower that could help you be a better mom?
Oh, God.
What would it be?
Like a realistic superpower?
Whatever
anything.
you want.
I mean, emotional control.
Oh, wow. That's a big one. Yeah.
A bunch of stabs for that one. Who? There was never a switch. Why didn't they give us a switch? There should be a switch when they come out that we learn how to control that and then understand that they're still kids.
We need like time off.
Oh, I need to smoke.
We need like a mom, like designated time off.
Yeah.
Just for being moms.
Yeah.
Like we should have a power off hour, few hours. It should just
100%.
come with us.
Because people don't understand. And, you know, this is nothing against men because men have their own responsibilities and pressures, right? Like providing and all that. I mean, at least a man.
I mean,
right.
But
You would hope.
You would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope.
But the anxiety, we're constantly thinking, okay, I got to do this and I got to do this. And then you have these worries. Then you have those intrusive thoughts. You're like, what if this happens when I go? Then you start like, no, I don't have time to think that. You just are constantly going. You're exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no end time. I don't think I haven't slept since having kids.
No.
Like there's just you don't have a good night rest. And even when they get to the point of where they can like pour their own cereal or do their own thing, you're like, it's like a sigh of relief, but it's not rest.
No.
Something else comes.
Something else.
The attitude.
Yes. Oh my. I
Let's
can't
not
like
talk about that.
You know how hard it is? Like, you know, to not do what your mom or dad did. You're like, oh.
Yeah. They have no idea.
They don't know.
No idea.
There's a reason we are the way we are. And I don't think kids would be. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, these kids have no idea. I always, you hear some kids say, I'm going to call CPS. Call them.
Yeah.
They're going to take you, not me.
Think about that.
But my kids, at least the good part is I'm learning to communicate better because I didn't get that communication growing up.
Our
What are the
generation
ages?
didn't.
They're going to be 9 in a few months and then 10 in June.
Seems like yesterday I was at the baby showers.
You know, I'm an older mom, so I had to.
Right?
You had to get it done.
Yeah, I'm like, let's go.
Wow. So you really haven't had any rest.
No. And nobody talks about just being stressed out, period. Like the amount I was stressed out when I was working, in my career full time versus the stress now, it's different. I could have never done that career while being a mom. So you're a different type of beast if you're able to do both because there are some women who have done both.
Yeah, it's a lot. I can't imagine. I mean, I would have to make so much money to be able to take my kids everywhere with me too, because once you become a mom, yes, we are career women. Yes, we should be able to fulfill all that, but there's this thing that, you want to be there for those moments in their life because you can't get them back.
Yeah.
You can't get it back.
People don't talk about celebrities too. They look at them as privileged. Like, for example, Beyonce. Mm-hmm. She has caregivers. She has nannies and housekeepers and, all that stuff. But she's still bringing her kids with her. And
they're learning.
And she's bringing them into her life and letting them participate and, making their own choices. And even though she has all the help, she's still exhausted. You better believe she's still exhausted because she's trying to be present.
Yeah.
And that is
which is the hardest thing for us to do as mothers.
And I would totally do that. Like how she's doing it, I think it's beautiful because they are learning on site. You know what I mean?
She could have just neglected them. A lot of celebrities have done that, or like you reach a certain level and then they're just like, oh yeah, here's some money. Go run off.
Go do your thing.
Do your thing.
Well, talking about relieving the stress from mothers, we know that you don't consume, but we also know, you probably know people that consume. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's like some last minute gifts that you like need to get them for a birthday or anniversary or whatever the special occasion may be. I don't know if you've seen these amazing bongs that are right here from Hemper. They offer subscription boxes, but they also offer an opportunity for you just to search their website and look for gift boxes. Yeah. You can look for as many different varieties as you want and send them directly to your friend.
And I'll have other accessories in it, and your friend, loved one, whoever,
Family
will,
member, yourself eventually. You
right.
never know. The
I know.
time's
We're gonna
always
try.
turn.
We're gonna get you there. They're just such a pleasant like surprise. How many people are gonna get this in the mail? How many people are gonna be thankful? And then also, if they smoke it, they're going to be more pleasant to be around for you.
Hey, listen, okay, I may not smoke or drink, right? And it's because I developed my allergies. Plus, I'm like a little bit of a health freak. But my husband, he smokes a lot.
Oh, yay! So you're gonna go home. We'll get you. We're gonna go home. Well, let's see.
Isn't
We'll
that
find
ironic,
when we'll
though?
get this.
I don't do it, but then he does it enough for both of us.
It's a good
No,
balance for the two of you.
but
Yeah.
don't you see how it helps him?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm
I
not even
mean-
gonna front. Like, my thing is,
Her husband's Italian, so
Oh,
so
he
yeah.
needs it.
from there, and we visited the town where you would go
Yes,
every summer
my
in
cousin
Italy.
saw her. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh, when we get,
Okay, we'll talk
when
about
we're with
that,
us. Yes. Because I mean, how many Koreans are
Yeah, I was
watching through my
literally-
family's
You're like,
town?
I think it's your friend.
So yeah.
The irony.
That is
goodness.
hilarious.
Well, we
That's
have
hilarious.
one more question for you.
Okay.
Can you go ahead and pick one of these beautiful bongs?
Oh, you know what I'm gonna pick. Guess what I'm gonna pick?
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
racist.
You know it. Heifer, Robin.
I'm gonna tell you why I picked this also, not just because I'm Asian, but it's also because in college I was so broke. One of the months I was preparing myself because I was so broke that I didn't have anything to eat. I had to prepare myself. I bought a box of ramen, a whole box, and hot dogs, and I ate
Got you
that
through.
for a month. So
Got you
ramen
through.
has a special meaning.
Okay, well, there it is.
there it is.
It's meant for you.
Well, I guess this kind of answers it, but you can go ahead and give us your answer on your own. What is your go-to comfort food?
Oh, it's Korean food.
Oh, Korean food.
Yeah, but what did you think it was?
Well, ramen.
Oh yeah, ramen. Yeah. But I mean ramen and
That's like, you're like, that's a broke.
yeah, it
comfort
is.
food.
Yeah, it's a home, easy. I had to learn how to cook being a mom. I didn't know how to really cook like that.
Really?
No, I didn't.
You was out just every night getting,
every night, just
Yeah.
spending my money.
Can't do that no more.
Now I don't make that kind of money.
And
like
it all
back
goes to
then.
the kids.
Yeah, any money I make, it does. But it's better to keep them busy.
So do you make Korean food?
I do.
Oh, okay, we're coming over.
Okay.
Thanks for the invite.
We're coming over anytime. I just don't make the kimchi because I'm the only one who eats it.
We'll bring some.
Okay. But I buy it. Yeah, I buy
What
it.
about kimchi fried rice?
Oh, I love. Really?
It's my favorite.
Are you serious?
My favorite.
I bet you don't go out after that though.
I do
for a
take
few
myself
days.
out. It
Yeah,
does
yeah.
take me
It's
out
like
a
3
little bit.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 days you gotta detox your
Yeah.
mouth.
I love Korean food.
You're welcome.
Now I want to
You're
go
welcome
eat.
anytime.
See,
Yeah,
now
I
we got the
know.
munchies. Now we got to go after this and go get
I'm
some.
always ready to eat.
But-
Like we're starving too. I starve. Like I'm literally eating my kids' leftovers. I'm like, oh, you didn't finish that pancake?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only time. But maybe it is time we go get something to eat.
I'm with that.
KSLY.
Thank you.
KSLY, thank you so much. To have you here has been such an honor, and for you to accept coming to sit with us, it really meant a lot. We know that you don't consume, but you're a supporter of us. You're obviously support your husband consuming it, and that's a big part of what we're trying to do is just really get acceptance. Yeah. We're not necessarily trying to force everybody to smoke, although we think that they should try something. it's the acceptance of the people in their lives that do. So we really appreciate it. Can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yes.
If they want to book
I
you.
want to add to that, though. I think that you show how you can consume responsibly.
Yes.
And I think that the stigma of being irresponsible comes in the movies and certain media outlets, and they need to like rethink, right? Like drinking wine.
Yes.
But you can find me at DJ KSLY, DJ KSLY, and that's across all socials. And then DJKSLY.com.
Awesome. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I had fun.
Good.
I could have
good.
went on and on. And
Oh
talked
man,
to
we
you.
could go forever.
But we gotta go. We gotta
I know.
We gotta pick up them kids
Yes.
from school.
Yes.
Damn them kids.
Time to go back into mom mode. Thank you, everybody, for coming through and sitting with us, spending the time.
Find us at puffandparlay.com and Puff and Parlay across all platforms. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and we will see you guys
Support your
next one.
girls. Catch us in the clouds.
Gotta watch everybody, it get tricky out here. Look both ways, it get busy out here. Better check the weather, it get sticky out here. It's heated out here. Shit be on fire.